I'm live. We're going to go post the link. We've been having trouble with YouTube today, being able to give us decent sound. So I'm hoping today's lesson will be fine, but I don't know. Last class was a little rough, and so we'll find out here momentarily. Um, I rebooted everything in the system, checked all the connections, and everything I can think of to make this thing work. Today's our last official day of introduction to ukulele, and so we're very excited to finish it up. If you're new to these broadcasts, it's jollyrogerukulele.com. That's where you get all the sheet music and all the information. And we work on instrumental ukulele here, not singing and strumming type stuff. So plenty of that available for you on YouTube elsewhere. But we work on playing ukulele like a real instrument. uh, and so let me make sure that this page is working correctly. And everybody be like, what the heck? Where have you been? No, hopefully they're figuring out whether the sound is good, and somebody will say, sound is good, Gary. Let's see. Good afternoon. We play great stuff. That's what Vic says. Hey, Ellen, sound is good. The cackling is gone. The cackling is gone. Hey, Bridget. Sorry I'm late, everybody. We had the sound system was giving us a fuss in the previous class. I have completely shut down the computer and completely booted from ground zero. I have double checked all of my connections, and I don't see anything wrong with anything that I'm doing on this end. It's 100% exactly the same every single day. And so hoping we can get through today without any sort of weird sounds. And that's what I'm hoping. I am having a terrible amount of challenges with the amount of smoke in the air today, guys. So I'm going to be sneezing and having a runny nose and all that stuff. And I'm going to try not to sneeze into the microphone. But who knows how successful we'll be. Um, yeah, we got fires going on up north. The other thing I'm concerned about is that usually we have a pretty decent number of people rolling in here on the widget up here. And right now I'm only showing 3, even though it's clear there's 4 of you here. So I'm thinking there's something up with YouTube. I'm afraid. So we'll find out. All right. And then I'm going to pull these up and have them at the ready. All right, let's find out. Guys, Dan, do let me know how your sound is going at your house overall. Like I say, I'm concerned that we're getting some. I'm concerned everything's caving in down at YouTube, and I don't know if we're going to be able to hold through this or not. Bridget says the sound is good at her place, and so that's what we're hoping. And I'm glad to hear back. Sound is so much better. Okay, so far. Good sound here. Okay, like I said, I did double check all of the connections to make sure there wasn't anything, that I had bumped or something, which everything looked 100% fine. And I've double checked the sound, like everything that I know to check, and it's exactly what it always is, always. So we will proceed under the notion that was a fluke. How about that? Let's go into Scarborough Fair today, right? That's what we're doing, I hope. I think that's what's on my head we're doing. Yeah, Scarborough Fair today. We'll play through that, and then we'll find out. We'll take a little assessment of where we are in our week and in our program, and then give you guys some things to think about here at the end. So Scarborough Fair is a stretch piece for introductory players. Should be pretty challenging for you, might be too challenging, and so that is okay. Either of those things happening in your life, and we'll discuss how seriously we need to take our next steps. So number one, let's make sure everybody's tuned up. Let's make sure mostly that Gary is tuned up. I play on this $100 ukulele kind of on purpose. I don't I think we send the message out in the ukulele business that a better ukulele is what you need, and that's really not true. I mean, there are things you can do to your current ukulele to make it sound better, but uh, generally speaking, you don't have to invest a ton of money into this business to get it going well. So let's talk about Scarborough Fair. First thing is the chords in here they're not your favorite chords, okay? And they can't be. This piece is any minor key. I always try in all the different keys to find the best arrangement for a piece of music, and this is the best arrangement for this particular piece of music. This key G minor is a chord that you're not going to run into it a ton, but you are going to run into it. So let's just make sure you're clear. Index finger on the bottom, first fret, first string. Middle finger is going to be third fret, third string, second fret. Gosh, it's always so hard to talk about this. And then ring is third fret, second string. Okay, so it's not hard to put on, and it actually sounds really nice. That's a nice sounding chord, right? And the other kind of cool thing about it is it pairs with the F chord real nice. You just take everybody up and lose your ring finger. There's your F chord, and then you're going to come right back to that same spot. So not a lot of motion there. Things get challenging at measure 5. You're going to be dropping in a B flat chord. And remember, if your B flat sound like this, that's fine. That's what they sound like right now. They're going to get better. Okay? They're going to get better. By the way, I have the window open because it has been too sad to play in this room with these new drapes closed all the way. And so I'm trying to find a happy medium between glaring bright light. That's why my hand's so bright. So I'm going to try to speak louder and be further away from the screen and have my window open a little bit. I think I will be less sad. All right. From B flat, then you go right back to G minor. Measure 7, you're going to grab that C chord. And then back to G minor. Okay, you're going to play G minor for a while. Then you're going to go to B flat. And remember, B flat can either be a partial bar or a full bar. I like you to play a full bar, but if you play a partial bar, that's fine. Then after the B flat, you're going to go to an F. And notice at measure 13, there's going to be 4 beats in that one measure. Okay, the original of this tune would not have had a 4/4 beat there, just randomly in the middle of the song. But Simon and Garfunkel put one in there, and it really makes a lot of sense right there. So in an homage to Simon and Garfunkel, measure 13 gets 4 beats. Otherwise, this song is pretty much the original. Okay, and play that F chord. It'll be 4 beats. Then you're going to go to your G minor. She once was F chord. A true love of mine. Okay, so let's play it through. For the baritone group, I'm working on putting in more of the lyrics for this. I will tell you the lyrics get dumber and dumber, and so really the first line is the only line you really need to know. I'm sort of disappointed in how bad the lyrics are for this song after the first line. The first line's pretty cute, but then it goes downhill. Also, the song is very, very old, so we have no idea what the real genesis of this was, and there's no real official version of it anywhere, but there are sort of standard versions, and of course Simon and Garfunkel's words play heavily in our knowledge of this song. So let's just do singing and strumming. As you know, you love how I sing, and so what I have been told, get your first note right and everything else should be okay. So R, 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 R. There we go. I'm going to count to 3. Straight, sing and strum, please. 1, 2, 3. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? 2, 3. Strum, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. 3, 1, 2. Remember me to one who lives. 1, 2, 3, 4. She once was a true love of 1, 2, 3 to the top. Are you going parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. 3, 4, she once was a true love of second inning. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the chords work. They're very nice, lovely, just overall range. Little high for my singing voice, but for everything's too high for my singing voice. And so if you are a singer, you have to decide if this is in your range. If it's not, you have to transpose, and that's when you send me an email and be like, I really love that song. I really want to be able to sing it, but it's too high or too low or whatever. And then we start talking about music theory and how to transpose and all that stuff for you. It's not an intro level activity by any means, so that's why we don't cover transposing in this 6-week period. But it is something to know about. Is like, oh, are you going? That's pretty high. Let's try C minor. Are you going to? I don't know about that one. Let's try A minor. Are you going to? That's lower. That one might work for my voice. Try D minor. Are you going to? And so you go through the minors that you know, trying to find out, okay, what's probably the best place for my voice to start, and then we can transpose it into that key, and that changes all your other chords as well. But we don't cover that in intro class. It's too much for the first 6 weeks. Just playing what's on the page is plenty. Now, let's go in through, play the melody. As you're looking through the melody, you see some 3s, some 5s, some 1s, some 5s, some 8s, and some 10s. It's all over the place, right? So if you decide, hey, I'm going to play a duet with a friend of mine, you want to be really mindful. Their chords are not that hard. They're harder than the beginning chords, but they're certainly not brutal. So they're going to be able to strum just lovely, and you're in charge of getting the melody right, and you're going to have some strategies as to the best way to finger this thing. I would say the first 4 measures for sure are in first position, because I got a 1, a 3, and a 5, and I can get all of those in my first position. So let's play just the first 4 measures, and then let's strategize around the next few measures. 1, 2, 3. 3, 3, 5, 5. 5, 0, 1, 0, 3, 2, 3, rest. That rest is really important, because the chord player is going to go chonk, and you're going to think you're supposed to be going, but you're not. Make sure you have that rest there. That rest is beautiful. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? 2, 3, rest. Parsley, sage. It's really a good rest. Okay. Next thing, from 5 through, well, really all the way into 12, you're going to be playing mostly up the neck. Okay. So you're going to be thinking, I'm going to go to 5th position, because now I can get 5, 8, and 10, all with my finger, with my hand making very little motion. Okay. So it'd be 5, index, ring, pinky, ring, and then you, index, and then your ring can come down on 7, or maybe even use your middle finger on 7. And then you're going to slide down to the 3, and then slide right back up to 5. Go get your 2 10s there. Ring on 8. 5, 5, and now you can go back into first position. 3, 1, 0, 1, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3. Okay, so that one section there, from measures 5 through 11, you're going to want to play in 5th position, and then you're going to stretch out a little bit to get to 10. That's how you're going to handle that section. I would be mindful that even when you're in that position, it's going to be moving around a little bit, and not every fingering choice is going to be perfect, but you're going to be much more successful by having your hand up here where most of the notes are. And you got to slide back to get that 3, and then back up for 5. but for the most part, just hanging out in fifth position is going to make a lot of sense through the middle of the song, and then just go right back into first position at the first of the or at the end of the song. Okay, twice through, honor your repeat. So make sure when the second time through, when you hit 17, you jump over it and go to 19. 1, 2, 3. 5, 5, 5, 0, 1, 0, 3, 2, 3. Rest. 5, 8, 10, 8, 5, 7, 3, 5, 2, 3, 1, 2. 10, 10, 10, 8, 5, 5, 3, 1, 0, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, to the top. 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 0, 1, 0, 3, 2, 3, rest. 5, 8, 10, 8, 5, 7, 3, 5, 2, 3, 1, 2. 10, 10, 10, 8, 5, 5, 3, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a really good G, a really good thing to do at the end. Okay, let your audience know I'm done. You can start cheering and applauding wildly for me. Okay, next up, Tafuk. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're in great shape. How often does that happen? Let's walk through the whole thing. Then we'll play it twice. Then we'll talk about your future. Grab your G chord. Now, see, it looks like a G chord. It's not really a G chord. It's a G minor chord. Okay. I probably, in this case, really would put a G minor on. It's just going to make getting to that 5 a little bit easier. But you could absolutely put a regular G chord on here and play the 5. But that's not the chord that you're supposed to have on. You're supposed to have this chord on. Okay. All right. So we put the G minor on, play 0, 2, 3. Hit the 3 again. Gonna get that pinky up. That's a stretch that takes a little getting used to, is when you've got to get your pinky all the way up there. In the beginning, it's very hard. You will be able to do it long term. It's just in the beginning, you're like, my pinky does not want to go away like that. And that's exactly what we're asking it to do. Okay, let's play that a couple of times. Hit the 5 again. Then go to a full F chord at measure 3. And then your index finger is going to roll down, hit that 1, hit it open, and then go right back to G minor. Couple of decorative notes there. 2, 3. Here's the part everybody hates, right? B flat. Just have faith. And if it comes out like that, it comes out like this. If it comes out good, it'll sound like this. Okay. The day will come when that's not a problem for you. Okay. You're an intro to ukulele. Be patient with yourself. Love yourself a little bit. Chunk. Okay. And then we got to get to 5, 8, 5. Just as if you're playing melody. 5, 8. And then you're going to take your index finger, 10, 10, 10. This is the hard part of the song. Okay. And it's not going away. So get 3 fingers on a 10. It's the same chord as a C minor down here. Okay. But now we're all the way up here playing a G minor. Okay, and we can leave this string open because it's a G string. And it's going to sound fine on the G minor. In the C minor situation, G is part of a C minor chord. So that sounds beautiful down here, but it also works right up here. Okay. Now, I didn't put a 0 on the tab because I think it's optional whether you hit that. But if you hit it, it's fine. You get a weird sort of low G, high G thing going on. But on the tab, I just gave you the 3. Okay. Either way, I would say the quality of your ukulele may play a role in how good that sounds. On this one, sounding okay today. It may not sound good tomorrow. And then you're going to just slide down the way. So I would play that chord, and then I would go get 8, 5 with a strum on 8, or a strum on 5, strum on 7, strum on 3, and then I'm going to go down, grab my G minor, put my pinky on 5. Then 2, 3, 2 is already in the. You're already holding those down. When I repost this, I'm going to get rid of that tie there. Now you got to go right back up to 10. So you get that doom, doom, doom. Go grab all your 10s again. Okay, and put that 10, 10, 10 on there. Here's the part that's a tiny bit of a bummer, guys. Bar on 5, F shape in front, pinky on 8. Okay, so let's go through it. It says 7, 5, 6, 8, and if you look at that and you're like, I don't like this song. I'm not playing this song. Bar on 5, F shape in front. Okay, so middle finger is on the 6th fret, ring finger's on the 7th fret, and then your pinky's got to drop right in there on top of the 8th fret. Okay, so that's what you're going to be playing. And doesn't it sound beautiful? It's absolutely beautiful. Here's what you're really doing. You know how we do this F chord with our pinky all the time? That's exactly what you're doing, except you're sliding it all the way up here, changing this to a bar, adjusting those 2 fingers. That's what you're doing. Okay, so it's B flat, pinky on F. What's going on there? And then the next 2 notes I have written as 3, 1 on your paper. But you can also, after hitting this 5, I skipped a space, sorry. We play this chord, and then you hit the 5 again, so just lift up your pinky. And then play the chord again. And now this is where you can either hit 3, 1, like that, or since you just hit this B flat chord, you can put your pinky on this 8 on the 2nd string, and then lift it back up, and you're holding a 6 here. So you go 8, 6. So it's up to you. Probably easier at this level just to go down, hit 3, 1, because you are going to end up in an F anyway. So probably what's written is the easiest to do right now. But for those of you guys that are like, yep, I'm totally understanding what's going on in this thing, you're going to hit a B flat, and then you're going to hit the pinky on 8 and your middle finger on 6, and then go down to get your 8. Either of those is fine. I will probably do 8 and 6, but I would say when I was a newer player, and then I saw 3, 1, I'm like, oh, thank goodness, I can play that. And then measure 13. Remember 4. And then leave 2 beats after that. So it's there, beat, beat. And then go back to your G minor and measure 14. Pinky on 5. There's that F chord with the pinky again. Go grab the 1. Put an F chord back on. Probably pinky or ring to get the 3. Hit the 1. And then back to G minor. You're going to hit 2, 3. Nice strum here, and then go back down 3, 2, and then we go back to the top of the paper and we play it. Second time we come around, we don't play 17 and 18, we play at 19. So go look at 19 again. G minor chord, 2, 3, a full G minor, 2 more, and 3, and then we're going to finish up with a nice. That's going to sound cool when we get there. Okay, so it's a lot, but it's going to sound, it all works. It's a lot. And we want the last song in your intro program to be too hard for you. Just a little bit too hard for you, so that you're like, oh, I got to stretch. I got to really work on this thing. Plus, you got a world-class piece of music here, right? Everybody around the world knows this song. Not everybody. There's somebody in Africa, in the Saharan Africa, who hasn't heard this song, but that's the only guy. Everybody else has heard him. And so it's worth working on. Okay. All right, here we go. From the top, crazy slow. Play the tough uke if you can. If you're like no chance, then play the melody. 1, 2, 3. Strum 3, strum, strum. 5, strum. 1, O, strum. 2, 3, B flat, strum. 5, 8, all tens. 8, strum, 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 G minor with your 5, strum, 2, 3, 2, 10, strum, 10, B flat, pinky on 8, strum, no pinky, 5, strum, 3, 1, strum, 2, G minor, extra beat in there, strum, 5, F with your pinky, strum, 1, strum, 3, 1, G minor, strum, 2, 3, strum, 3, to the top. That's what we got. Thoughts right there? Let me know. For most of you guys, not everybody, but most of you, that should feel like, hey, I know what I'm supposed to do, but being able to actually execute it may be a whole nother story. It's a very beautiful, Evelyn's point, hey, this is a pretty nice piece of music. It's a really beautiful song. And the chords and the whole thing just really work together. And so, I talk a lot of times about building a permanent repertoire. Find songs that are meaningful to you, find songs that are worth working on, and then just have them in your book as a part of your permanent rotation. This would be one of those songs, I think, where you're just like, man, oh man, that's a nice sounding tune. The other nice thing about this is you can throw it in at Christmas time, and you have, or one song you can play kind of year round. I think it's a really nice piece of music. The other thing, if you have a Renaissance fair in your neighborhood, you can go down and play this outside the gate and make some money. All right, so Scarborough Fair. Now, that's a stretch piece. Both yesterday's piece, Aloha Oi, and this piece, Scarborough Fair, should be challenging if you are working on intro stuff. And so it really is meant to be a stretch piece. So don't judge yourself on these pieces. Just know that you've got these both Aloha Oi and Scarborough Fair. I think, honest to goodness, are tunes you could work on for a long time and really turn into something. And so the question is, do you know what you're supposed to do? Whether your hands or not are able to do it right now is less important than, yep, I absolutely know what I'm supposed to do. May or may not be able to do it on any given day. So let's talk about tomorrow, and then let's talk about your future. Tomorrow is Kick Your Fanny Friday. We're going to be playing Daisy Bell. We're going to play Key of F Arpeggio. That's the hard one. We're going to play Aloha Oi, and we're going to play Scarborough Fair. So everything we're playing tomorrow is really next level ukulele. So it's going to be a day of relatively difficult music for you. And the question at the end of tomorrow will be, how comfy am I feeling with this? If you're like, yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do, I just haven't practiced enough or whatever, then you're probably for sure ready for next level ukulele. If stuff is still pretty iffy in your mind, like I don't know what the heck he's talking about 3/4 of the time, then it would be real smart to go ahead, take the introductory series one more time. I've had lots of people take it twice. Lots of people. I've had a few people take it 3 times, and I had one person take it 9 times. And Marcia just likes the class, so she kept taking it. But you really by the third time, the students I've had here locally who've taken it the third time. By the third time, they're like, they could teach the class, so they know everything that's going to come out of my mouth, and they know everything they're supposed to do. So usually for most everybody, a couple of times through, and you really got solid, even if you have no music background at all. A lot of people who are able to breeze right through this, you've got some music background, and so this stuff, a lot of the stuff I say is just stuff you already have in your noggin. We're just making it specific to the ukulele. I would say starting on Monday, my plan is for you guys in this time slot. I am going to start with the Frere Jacques, and again at the beginning of that. But I'm also in this time slot going to be going through partly for my own edification and partly for you guys that are sort of in that Netherland where like, yeah, I'm pretty much getting it, but I still want to have a little bit more work to challenge me. I have what I'm going to call book 2. On the ukulele, on the Jolly Roger website, if you click on the ukulele tab, I have about 50 songs or so, Americana and patriotic, the French stuff, the Irish, Scottish and Wales stuff, the Italian stuff, the Mexican stuff, the Tin Pan Alley, section I call celebrations, which includes Drunken Sailor and For He's a Jolly Good Fellow and stuff like that. And then I have about 3 pieces that are classical. One of them I've never finished, so I'm going to get that finished. Some cowboy music on there, Stephen Foster music, Bach, Beethoven, and a few songs from church that are nice. Protestant church, not not the other churches, and which is honestly, I'm not religious anymore. I grew up in a Protestant tradition, but there are a handful of Protestant songs that are like, oh my gosh, those are beautiful, and so I'm going to be putting those into the book as well. So I'll be mixing those in as we go along. We're not going to do an entire packet of everything. I'll probably just go down there and add those on to our daily work. Mostly I need to go through and make sure that those pieces of sheet music are playing well enough that those of you guys that have completed intro and are feeling good about that will know what's going on. And then those of you guys that are still struggling a little bit or just need another, you're not necessarily struggling, it's just that you're not playing at the level that you feel comfy going to next level ukulele, then we will then you won't play those tunes, right? So every day we'll end up having 2 tunes, and that will give me the opportunity to make sure those pieces of sheet music are all cleaned up and ready for you. Like I've never finished God Save the Queen, and I've never ever done Star Spangled Banner, which is weird. After all these years, you think I had that finished, and a few others I just need to clean up the sheet music, and so I'll be using you guys as guinea pigs to make sure that stuff is in good condition. So on Monday, when you come in at the 12 o'clock time slot, that's what we'll be doing. Starting for a Frere Jacques for some of you, and then we'll be moving on to I'm going to call it, I guess, book 2 stuff or intermediate stuff. So that's the plan. So every day we'll have 2 songs, which means that most of the time, most of that energy will go into the intro song, but I'll reserve enough time for you guys to have a second song each day that's a little bit more challenging. That'll be on Scarborough Fair level type music, and that'll obviously then get you really solid for the 1 o'clock time slot class. And guys, honestly, I have no idea what I'm going on with those guys next week. They did 1920 stuff this week, which was super fun. And but I think I'm going to do a Harry Potter series with those guys next week. I'm having a hard time getting all my sheet music in order quickly enough, and I do have a full-blown Harry Potter thing that I've never done the tough uke for, and I think it'd be really fun to do some Harry Potter with those guys. So Anyway, that's the plan. Your focus is tonight is just to make sure that the 4 tunes that we are going to be playing tomorrow, you can play it at whatever level is you're comfortable. If it's only chords, if it's only melody, that's 100% fine. If it is tough, I always try to play in such a way at this level where it's slow enough where you can be successful. But if your hands aren't doing it, they're just not doing it yet. And all I really care about is what you're supposed to do. Whether you can actually pull it off or not is a whole other issue. So, Gary, should we print out the book or just wait for you to select them each week? I would wait till select them each week, because what I've been doing, the stuff in the intro class, the stuff that you guys have been working on, it's pretty much the same stuff I've taught for 10 years. It's good stuff. It's solid. It teaches you to play ukulele at a high level, and it works. And so that stuff doesn't really change that much. Every now and then I'll find a typo or make a minor adjustment. The book 2 stuff, I've only been through one time, some of that stuff, and some of it I've never been through. So I will probably each day pull up, double check, play through it, make sure it's exactly what I think it's supposed to be, and then post it on there. So I would not print all that stuff out in advance, because it may change. And so it's there for you. If you want, feel free to go, pull it up and start working on it. But I would probably just pull it up on my computer screen and play through it, rather than printing it out. Unless you feel a lot more comfortable with paper, then of course you can go ahead and start messing with it. But just know some of it may get tweaked a little bit. Occasionally I'll have a song where I actually need to change the key or something like that, and then it gets changed a lot. But I'm hoping most of the stuff on the website's in pretty good shape. But I'd probably go ahead and wait until each day to print it out. And my plan will be to have all of that on the website by Sunday night, so you'll be able to know for the full week what we're doing, since all that stuff's already done for the most part. So that's my plan anyway. We'll see how it works. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you have a wonderful day. Be safe, do good, practice, and keep showing up. Those are the four things I think you need to be able to do to be a successful musician and happily playing your ukulele for the rest of your life. And that's it. That's what I got to tell you. That's it. I'm going to kick you out of here. Thanks, Vic, for being here. Bridget, good to see you. This is a good piece of music. Put it on your permanent rotation. It's a good piece of music. I swear, if you get where you can play that, you will always be happy with it. That's it. Nancy, have a wonderful day. I'm going to pull the plug, guys. I will see you all either later today or tomorrow.